In this video segment, we're going to focus on following a program that is starting up clubs. As we know, clubs provide a way for school-age children to learn about new topics in an interesting and in-depth way. Club topics will be based on interests of children and educators and usually involve the completion of a project relating to the topic. The topics are only limited by the interest and the imaginations of the children and the caregivers. For this video, we followed Andrewflex Stittsville program as they piloted a startup club curriculum. We followed their journey in planning and lessons learned. I am pleased to share with you Andrewflex Stittsville.
We've been talking for years about how to get school age to be more independent and to have more choices in their program and have more say about how they want their program to run. They're a lot older, and it's not uncommon for somebody from my group to want to go visit a peer or do an activity that somebody else might be doing that they find interesting. So a huge inspiration is just meeting their needs and their natural desire for more independence.
So deciding how long each club will run is still sort of a work in progress. It's one we're going to have to feel out a little bit. Right now we're functioning as each week they'll sign up to the club that they want to do each week.
We had some issues when it came to thinking of what time of day we were going to run the clubs, because we had to factor in snack and we had to factor in outdoor play. So at first we wanted to start our clubs at 3:30 to 4:30 so we'd have enough time to tidy up, but realized we would not have enough time for outdoor play and snacks in that half hour. So we decided to switch it from 4 to 5.
On the Monday, we're Monday to Tuesday, they have chances to sign up because maybe a kid might not be here on a Monday. So we're going to present each of the clubs and they're going to sign up, and there's going to be a cap-off spot.
The club day, the Thursday's attendance, will just be a completely different sheet attendance with the children that have signed up for that group. So then you'll only be responsible for marking in and out the children that have joined your group that day.
So we created a board that has all of our sign-up sheets photocopied in it. So the sign-up sheets have the names of the children in the clubs, the name of the club, and the educator and which room they're in. And it also says on the bottom of the board that after 5 p.m. you can pick up your child in the gym, because we all head to the gym at 5.
Yeah, the first week the kids definitely didn't know what club they were in, but by the second week they actually got the idea of where they had to sign up, and they got the process of it. It was like night and day.
I mean, we talk about scaffolding all the time in childcare, and it gives the opportunity for older children to display a skill that younger children are still learning to master, and be able to cooperate together and teach one another, and teaches the older ones those skills of teaching and inclusion, and it teaches the younger ones to trust and to listen and to engage with different peers.
One of my favorite things that I noticed was the dynamics of the kids. I noticed that right off the bat, right after we did our sign-ups, the dynamics of the kids that were joining were really fun and interesting to see. Not even in like my clubs that I was running, but looking at sports club and seeing like the older ones try to help the younger ones.
Well, I like that you can be with your friends because you're usually never with your friends. So when you get to be in the same group, then you get to see all your friends and different clubs that you're not in the exact same group as.
We really wanted to focus on inclusion when we thought of the different clubs that we were going to set up for our children. So that's why each and every one of us went to our group and asked every single child what they would like to see out of the club programs. And we got a lot of crazy suggestions, a lot of really good ones, but that's how we feel like every child's voice was heard.
I would love a dress-up club where we can do like a show where we like see the best outfits, and all the teachers, like they have like at the gym there's like a stage where all the girls they show their outfits, and all the teachers just choose which one the grades, and one of the most votes wins, and then we do another one, and they actually get a real trophy.
For the initial start, we've sort of gone with the areas that we're also strong and confident in. The kids are excited, and it's also areas that we're excited and confident in, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to wrap our heads around what would be needed for each club.
We've divided out a few of the clubs that we saw were common interest among all of our groups, and we've each sort of taken charge of one of them, and we'll do an order in terms of what types of materials each group needs. One educator will take charge of that specific group and make a list and propose it for to be able to purchase all those items for the clubs. And we'll start small with a few of the main ones that we know those clubs are going to run, and then hopefully do more purchases as more different types of clubs arise. We were running the construction club, it was going great, we were doing activities, but different conversations about rocks and the different types and forms of rocks and doing an egg drop and just all these science conversations. So we sat down and we talked, why don't we change this into science club? And the following week science club was born, and it's grown ever since. And I love the fact that it came from something that didn't work and turned into something incredible.
We developed the Chill Club simply from asking our children in our group what they would like to do. And a lot of them said they would just like to hang out with their friends, listen to music, play cards, which is mostly what we do every single day. But they wanted a club designated to just that, to just being able to relax.
We discussed sort of the need for if a child comes on a day and they're just not feeling the one they signed up for, or they're just having a rough day, having a club that was a little more open, a little more free-flowing for children to relax and have a space that would be available for them to do other things. It would be capped lower so that there would also be space for children to come in and out, and also responding to the challenge of when we have children who are struggling with challenging behaviors, children who are struggling with needing some extra space or just being overwhelmed sometimes.
The Chill Club started as being in a room with the lights off and tea lights all around, and really just being the essence of a chill club. Last week, we actually just decided, I asked the children in the group if they would want to go inside or outside, and they decided they wanted to go outside, so we just spent the whole time outside on the play structure. I set out some blankets with some games, but the Chill Club is whatever the kids want.
I've seen like kids take like activities off the cart and bring them into their floor, and they come out of the floor and they have these like creations. Yeah, I think it's the environment that they build that helps them kind of get creative.
The Chill Club definitely expanded a lot more than we expected it to. I don't think there's been a single week since we launched that it hasn't been full, which I don't think any of us anticipated.
I think our challenge with space is because we're in shared space, so it's to do a club, it's fun and everything, but it's like material supplies, setting up, tearing down. We have to think about those things because we have to put everything back on our cart at the end of the night.
I think one of the solutions that we found for the space is we thought that we would make a designated cart just for the club days, where we wouldn't have to rearrange our own personal carts that we use on a day-to-day basis. We would have a special club cart. Then every day we're walking our carts down the hall, like, is it club day? Like, they love it. They're super excited. They love that they get to choose every week. It's all up to them. And yeah, it's been really positive responses.
It's nice to see kids that don't necessarily play together outside, play together in the clubs and forming new like relationships with each other. It's kind of cute. Yeah.
For science, I liked when we used the magnets in the sand to look for yeah, that was cool.
Because it's fun just to actually do something and do the same thing every time. It's fun, and yeah, we should keep doing them.
I think they gain a lot of confidence because they're trying out different things that they may not have ever thought of doing before, and realizing that they're actually able to, and they feel comfortable, and we're all supporting them in these new endeavors, and
they love it.
Yeah, I feel like they're just definitely gaining confidence in themselves.
And I feel like they're creating a small sense of community for themselves, and they get a small sense of community per week as they join their groups, and they're creating what the clubs are and what activities they're doing, and it fosters a lot of independence.
I feel like I know all the families now, since I've probably had each kid come into my club at least once, so I feel like I know each of the families and the kids better now.
I've had parents come into my club upon pickup, and they're always raving about what their children are talking about when they go home with clubs and all the fun stuff that they did, trying the snacks on baking, or how tired and calm they are after sports club. So it's been really good. The feedback from kids and families have been really good. A lot of the parents for me have just said that they aren't allowed to pick up their child any earlier than 5 o'clock. Their child has requested that they're able to stay for the whole duration of clubs, which obviously means their kids are loving it. Yeah. I've had a few parents come in and actually stay and observe what we're doing in the clubs. I think your team definitely has to be flexible. I think we're really lucky here that we've always been a team. We've been a team since September, and we're really good at helping each other. If somebody needs a break from one of the busier clubs, that's not a problem. Somebody else will take it on.
I think it's brought us together as a team too, because whenever we get together on our meetings, we're sort of problem solving or just sort of talking about the day-to-day things, and this has sort of given us an opportunity to sort of dream a little bit and feel inspired and feel excited and motivated.
In terms of behaviors with the kids, I found that there hasn't been that many. I feel like they're busy, they're engaged in things that are outside of their norm, and the tiffs, the little fights, the little arguments that pop up haven't been as common on a Wednesday as they are throughout the rest of the week. The atonement alone and just the choice that the kids get per week has been a huge benefit to our program. Dynamics, interest, activities, the things that are coming out of clubs make all of the chaos worth it.
In summary, as shared by the educators at Androflex Stittsville, planning and flexibility is key in creating the successful club curriculum. As noted by the educators, the positives for children, educators, and families, the club curriculum is a worthy endeavor. For more information, please visit our website at cissnewsletter.ca.